stage.
Honourable Minister.
Is that we're looking for some more property in Bodden Town, but can I ask, is there any thoughts about Georgetown itself? We're very limited here in terms of the housing that's being proposed. Or I think it's been built for a while. Thank you.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the National Housing Trust does own property in 2 locations in Georgetown, and we are looking at building homes in Georgetown coming up shortly. Our next site that we're looking at now is in West Bay. First is the Apple Blossom site to get that going. Sorry, Minister for Environment, remind me of the new name again, do you want? Bertree Heights, it's now named as. But as soon as we get that up and going, the next location will be Georgetown at the old Cox site.
Honourable Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in reference to the show that the Minister just said, the Minister also said that they were not of the view to fill the site that is on the Tibbetts Highway. Is that still the Tibbetts? Linford Pearson Highway.
Mr. Speaker, point of order, I didn't say that, sir.
Okay, yeah.
I did mention nothing about Phil.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Mr. Speaker, if that was not said, I solely retract the statement. I don't want to impede the member in any way. He's my friend. That's what I understood. But that being said, the question is, there is a location on the Linford Pearson that was acquired from not the last administration, but the administration before that, which is very substantially large. Is the Minister mindful to also use that location as well in conjunction with the Cox location for housing for Georgetown?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, that site was purchased for homes. We are mindful that we will, one of these days, be utilizing that site for housing. We have a large site that's located in Georgetown, which is the Cox site, that we want to start with first and move from that direction on. We will continue to look for more properties that are in Georgetown that we could love to secure, especially, I think, as the member may have known, I think just in the last administration, we have identified certain locations that probably could work for more housing. And I would anticipate that we could still move forward with that, with those locations in the near future. And I just want to go back on the spot that he's talking about off of Linford Pearson. Mr. Speaker, if you allow me to just elaborate a little further. Mr. Speaker, the location on the Linford Pearson will take significant amount of filling. But the one thing, and I'm going to reference back to the previous government, the reason why we didn't look at it at that time also is because if we do fill that property, where there is going to be a significant problem for the Randike Garden area. We already know that Randike is a flooding area. And if we fill that property right now, Randike will be in a worse situation than what it is right now. Unless the member wants us to fill that and the member for Georgetown East doesn't care about his people in Randike, then we can take it and we can continue to move that way.
Honorable Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Honourable Minister for that keen observation. I think his maps are a bit off because actually it's to the north of a development that's already happened. So if there was going to be any flooding concerns, it would have happened because there's a development in between the Randike area and where the government owns. But the member can look that up. I just want to follow up on my last supplementary, Mr. Speaker, is that the minister would remember there was a piece of property acquired in the Tropical Gardens area. And the position argued for the purpose of purchasing it was for a launch ramp for the Tropical Gardens area, as well as the rest of it being for minimum of 3 to 4 low affordable homes. I just want to know if the minister is still committed to that, because it is in Georgetown. It won't be as large as the other sites, and it could be something small that you can start with first. So I would like the minister to give commitment to that.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I can't give commitment to it, but I will tell the minister that I will take it on and carry it forward to the next cabinet meeting. I know it was identified in one of our last caucus meetings as the previous government before of a location for building homes, and I know we had fully supported it. At the time, I do not think we had the opportunity to transfer those properties over to national housing. But if the government is mindful of doing that in the near future, I will take that opportunity to continue to go on and also to push to see that we can build some homes on it, because I do think it's a property that it can be a quick win on. It doesn't take no large amount of filling, so it's something that we could work with.
Member for Radby.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank the Minister also. I would urge him, though, to see if any portion of that property could be used. I'm not sure if we have to fill the entire thing, but I will leave that, sir. But thank you for the commitments you've given. And I do hope at some point we'll be able to get back to that bit of property to see if any of it can be used. Thank you.
Member for Bordentown East, last question.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Proud to have bought the property. It's some 25 acres, and the largest parcel I think that's ever been bought. The intent was for that property was to take about 3 to 4 acres of that property and create a holding pond that Randike and even South Sound you had to be mindful of, and then try to develop the rest of it. I wouldn't necessarily say try to develop the whole piece of property, but at least 10 acres or something, once a holding pond is done first. But it's only a suggestion, Minister.
Next question.
The elected member for Bordentown East to ask the Honourable Minister of Planning, Land, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure. Question number 4.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. the Honorable Minister for Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, can the Honorable Minister confirm if the EIA for the East-West Arterial Road has been completed, and if so, what are the start and completion dates for this road, the East-West Arterial? Thank you.
Honorable Minister for Planning, Lands, Agricultural, Housing and Infrastructure.
Mr. Speaker, the Ministry can confirm that the environmental impact assessment for the East-West extension has been completed. The final environment statement, non-technical summary environmental management plan, and supporting appendices were prepared by the NRA's consultant and published on the NRA website on May the 1st of 2025. The next stage is to present these documents to Cabinet. A timeline on the road construction can only be provided once the country's projected financial challenges have been resolved.
Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
So, Mr. Speaker, just for clarity, the Minister is saying that we won't be able to know when the timeline is going to be finished until we do the budget. Is that a fair assessment, Mr. Speaker?
Mr. Speaker, through you, what we won't know is we have to be able to put the money in the budget to be able to build the road. And getting that money in there, knowing how much we're going to get in there, we'll be able to know what the start time will be, and then how far we can, what the projections is that money can be able to carry us. I'm always happy to give the House another update on that in the future. And as you know, we have plans, our main focus on plans from the NRA and from the road side of things was to focus on the East-West in the new year, once we had the sufficient amount of funds to move forward.
Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to say that the Minister has full support for whatever funding necessary in the upcoming budget, and I hope that the Cabinet gives the Minister the necessary funds.
Is there a question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. I'll go and get there, sir. Boy, I had a target today, but Mr. Speaker, I hope, does the Minister believe he will get the funding for his budget? If you want me to put it in a question.
Mr. Speaker, I can say that the government is fully supported of building the East-West. Matter of fact, the Premier himself, both of us was on a podcast just last week, and he mentioned that on the podcast too, that this government is committed to building the East-West Arterial Road.
The Honourable Deputy Leader of the Opposition, elected member for Georgetown Central, to ask the Honourable Minister of Social Development and Innovation. Question number 5.
Honourable Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask questions standing in my name number 5 on the order paper for the Minister of Social Development, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage. Can the Honourable Minister say how many Caymanians are currently being assisted by the Department of Financial Assistance with rental assistance?
Minister of Youth, Sports, Culture, Heritage and Social Development and Innovation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The answer: as of 7th June 2025, the Department of Financial Assistance was supporting 578 households. There were 1,066 individuals living in those 578 households. 543 of the households are headed by a Caymanian, while 35 are headed by a non-Caymanian parent who has responsibility for the care of a Caymanian child.
Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, can the Minister say if the Ministry is still taking the necessary steps to find transition home accommodations?
Mr. Speaker, the Ministry is currently reviewing options which include but are not limited to the purchase of property as well as potential utilization of current Crown property to develop social housing. And also, partnerships with private sector to provide social housing is also something under consideration.
Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My final supplementary. Mr. Speaker, can the minister say whether there is any signs of an increased need for social housing assistance from the Department of Financial Assistance?
Minister.
1 second, Mr. Speaker, while I consult with my team. Mr. Speaker, there's always a need, but there's not been any significant increase in those needs. People are always seeking assistance for housing, sir, but there's no significant increase in those requests.
Can the minister please establish how much is actually spent on housing?
One second, Mr. Speaker, I don't have that information right here in my current, but it's 1 second. Mr. Speaker, after consulting with my team, I've been told that through May to this year, it's $3.4 million have been spent on rental.
Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, thank the minister for the answer to my colleague's question for up to this year. And I'm happy to receive this in writing. Can the minister tell us what's the estimated amount that they predict they will have to spend for social housing for the whole year? I know they would have a budgeted in estimates. If you could provide in writing, that'd be appreciated. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Speaker, we'll undertake to provide that in writing.
Thank you. Next question.
Mr. Speaker.
Next question. Oh, member for Bordentown East.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just wanted to ask the Honorable Minister what has been done to change the perception of property owners in regards to payments from the department. The perception is that they don't want to accept the clients because the funds won't come in quick enough. Has there been any marketing done amongst the property owners or otherwise?
Mr. Speaker, that is a perception, and certainly a lot of times it's not the fault of the department. I'm going to stand up and say that for them, because a lot of times it's the other bit of paperwork that needs to come back into the department for them to process it, and thus a lot of times there's some delay in payments. Now, if there's anything else that is causing that delay, I would have to consult, but certainly that's, to my knowledge, that's what some of the stuff has been causing the delay in payments.
Member for Bordentown East.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the real question was, have we done anything to try to change the perception And because we don't have the social housing, so we need to depend on property owners, private property owners. So we need to do something to turn that around. Are we willing to do some kind of marketing to the property owners to try to at least get them to rethink in accepting their financial assistance clients?
One second, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, after consultation with my team, they have indicated they're actually planning a campaign to try and address some of those issues, but there's no timeline in terms of rolling that out as yet.
Deputy Speaker, you want to ask a question? Oh, okay.
The Honourable Deputy Speaker, elected member for Georgetown West, to ask the Honourable Minister of Social Development and Innovation. Question number 6.
Member for Georgetown West and Deputy Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask question number 6 in my name to the Honourable Minister of Social Development and Innovation. Can the Honourable Minister say when the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act 2025 will come into force?
Honorable Minister for Youth, Sports, Culture, Heritage, Social Development and Innovation.
Mr. Speaker, by way of background, the Act was passed in Parliament in February 2025, and following the most recent election, the Gender Affairs Unit was transferred to the Ministry of Social Development and Innovation. In the legislation, the Ministry responsible for gender affairs is tasked with the operationalization of the Act, which includes oversight and administrative support to the Anti-Sexual Harassment Tribunal and investigation of complaints. Accordingly, the Ministry is in the process of developing the necessary underlying regulations and policies to support the Act, and as such, the Ministry aims for the commencement of the full legislation package by the end of 2026.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, Minister.
Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, I think I heard the minister clearly when he said the end of 2026. Can the minister explain what would take so long, a year and a half, for this very important legislation to be implemented?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the answer is that the most important aspect of the Act is that entities formulate a policy and commit to protecting their staff, customers, clients, tenants. And that is the most logical first step in enactment. However, if the systems and processes are not in place to check compliance, enable legal recourse for the victims to make complaints to an authority, or for consequences to be applied, then it will be pointless. The additional step must be to change attitudes and culture in organizations and have the entities recognize their responsibilities, thus giving sufficient time for that process is imperative for successful implementation.
Mr. Deputy Leader of Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is that the ministry's position, or is that the government's position in respect to the timeline?
I think if the minister makes a statement, he's bound by under the doctrine of collective responsibility. So I think we have to assume that that would be the government position. So that I rule that question unnecessary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. One last supplementary. Mr. Speaker, I would encourage, or comment rather, I would encourage the government to potentially see if there's ways to speed that up.
That's not a statement. Okay, no crosstalk, no crosstalk, please. Order.
Mr. Speaker, while we do an endeavor best to enact, it should be noted that until the act comes into force, victims still have the ability to make complaints under the Gender Equality Act or the Penal Code, depending on the severity of the incidents.
That's the end of question time. And I'd just like to remind honorable members that the standing orders only allow 1 hour for questions now.
Administration of oaths or affirmations.
I, Gloria Michelle McFeel Nixon, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God. I, Gloria Michelle McFeel Nixon, do swear that I will well and truly serve His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, and the people of the Cayman Islands, in the office of ex officio member of Parliament, so help me God.
Welcome, Acting Deputy Governor. Please take your seat. Please be seated.
Statements by members of the government.
None.
Presentation of petitions.
None.
Obituary and other ceremonial speeches.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want us to just pause to recognize the passing of two esteemed individuals of Northside, Mr. Winston Miller and Ms. Thelma Range. It is with great sadness that we acknowledge the loss of these two remarkable souls who have left a mark on those who are fortunate enough to know them. Both Mr. Miller and Ms. Range contributed to our community, embodying values, kindness, integrity, and dedication in all aspects of their lives. Their presence will be greatly missed, and their legacy will continue to inspire us all. As we take a moment to honor and remember their lives, let us extend our deepest condolences to the families and the loved ones during this difficult time.
Raising of matter of privilege.
None.
Government business, bills, first readings, Churches Incorporation Amendment Bill 2025.
The Churches Incorporation Bill 2025 has been read a first time and set down for second reading.
Virtual Asset Service Providers Amendment Bill 2025.
Virtual Assets Service Providers Amendment Bill 2025 has been read a first time and set down for second reading.
Public Management and Finance Amendment Bill 2025.
Public Management and Finance Amendment Bill 2025 has been deemed to have been read a first time and set down for second reading.
Public Service Management Amendment Bill 2025.
Public Service Management Amendment Bill 2025 is deemed to have been read a first time and set down for second reading.
Motion for the adjournment of the House.
Honorable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It has been a moving day. I think we were all inspired by the acknowledgement of young Caymanian students, and I have already gotten a message from the Cabinet Secretary that they were moved in the Constitution Hall for as many members of this Honorable House that attended the launch of the Seafarers Registry. So thank you for that break, and we again do apologize to the listening public for a slight delay in the restart, but it's for a worthy cause, as you say. With that, Mr. Speaker, I move that this Honorable House do now adjourn until tomorrow, 26th of June, at 2 p.m.
The question is that this Honorable House now adjourn until Thursday, the 26th of June at 2 p.m. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? The ayes have it. The House stands adjourned.